There's a belief that words with RU, UR, or RO and OR are ruses. And it's just that, the belief. It's a personal thing. Whether you take it serious or not is up to you. But I want to mention a few things that are ruses in my book, and I don't care how you spell them. Drugs are a ruse. It's in the top 5 things of the goals of the Illuminati for people to use drugs, especially weed, and they've succeeded. And I have to mention him again with people like Joe Rogan, the friend of Alex Jones. Typical disinfo. The whole New Age thing also completely tricked people. Makes people more asleep, but I already mentioned this in Are You Were Awake? Maturity is a ruse. That should need no explaining. Sports are ruse. Especially if you look at the football world, European Cup here right now. People sit in front of a radiated screen, television, to watch it. So that alone already tells you something about this somebody who does it. People who use drugs are as bad as people who meditate. You get it? Combining those two things, that's one of the worst possible things you could do. Of course, not so fair to compare drugs to the other things, because those people are not just mentally challenged, but also physically damaged. And the last thing I want to get into a bit more, is boredom. Being bored is a ruse. You get taught to do certain things when you feel this feeling, boredom. The reason they do this is because actually this is the time you could start thinking. So what they do is occupy your mind with things like, what do people do? What do brainwashed people do? Play video games, also watch sports, things like that. They don't like this feeling. They've taught you to see it as something bad. So what it does is occupies your mind, and for example, if you know that I talk about the films of Tsai Ming-Liang a lot, I try to mention them because his films have helped me a lot. So if somebody whose mind been occupied would try to watch them, he would most likely not get the meaning out of it, if he would get even past the first one. But most people would never even think of watching them. Although you know that I mentioned them, you will still not do it, because you've been trapped. You're controlled. That's how it is. You choose to do things that they make to brainwash people instead of helping yourself. That alone should explain everything about somebody, but you yourself will not realize it. What is very common to all of these people is that they're full of hate, very hateful, and I'm just talking from my experience again, especially people who smoke weed. When if Ron Paul legalizes weed, what do you think, where is this gonna come from? Think that they're growing it for you now? That stuff is engineered, okay? It's not natural, and also some people believe that things that grow naturally are okay, so natural weed would be okay, but it's like saying that all mushrooms are okay, but if you eat the wrong ones you die. So it's ridiculous to believe that everything that was made by God is good for you. So when you feel mad, for example, if somebody spills coffee on your shoes, you get mad because you care about materialistic things, not because that somebody did something. But what most people would say is that they are mad at this somebody. In reality, they care about their boots, about meaningless things. Somebody calls you names, you get mad because you know that what they say is true. If somebody calls you an idiot and you know that you're not an idiot, why do you get mad? It should be obvious to most people, but one of the things I've learned is that saying the completely obvious things that are common sense to me is obvious, is required, is important, because it could be unheard of by other people. So I'm also saying this to you. Do tell obvious things, because your best friend might have never heard about it. Things like this. If somebody bullies you at work, school, and you feel like doing something physical, you will actually be doing something selfish, because you will hurt this person physically and mentally only for the good of yourself. We've been taught to think that it's alright and that he will, or she will, learn a lesson, but it's not like that. You will get nowhere. Not in that way. Not like that.